Hello Stampers! Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, please like and subscribe. That way you'll get notifications of when I make a new video for you. And I've been trying to do this twice a week, so hopefully you'll join me. Today we're going to be making this Seascapes card. I'm using Seascapes stamp set from Stampin' Up! And also we'll be using the coordinating dies that you can get in a bundle and save some money. So we'll be using those. And we're going to do a little direct paper today. And we're going to start out, let's go ahead and I've got my seahorse all cut out already with the dies using the Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine. And when you cut this out, it's still attached in a couple places, so I just take a pair of paper snips. Oh, can't get that out. And just cut those few places where it's attached. And let's see here. Get that one, and then there's one more here. And so we've got that all cut out, and it's cut out of basic white cardstock. We'll set that aside for a moment. And let's see here. We're going to start with our embossing. We're going to emboss resist some plants along the bottom of this panel that is 2.75 by 5.25 basic white. And when you emboss your images, it's going to bring those to the foreground when you put ink behind them because it resists the ink. So we're going to start by loading our stamp. I have a dirty Versamark pad here. It's just a regular Versamark pad that I've used for this technique for years. I just keep on putting more Versamark on it. We load that up with Versamark. Then you're going to load it directly with your ink. And this is Old Olive ink. And that gives your embossing powder, when you go to emboss it, something to stick to, that Versamark does. So there's one. We'll do one more. And put one here. Alright, that's a good way to get light colors in front of dark colors in your scene, is you do an emboss resist. Put those ink pads up so I don't put my hand in them. So, just going to emboss it with clear embossing powder. A little flick on the back. And we're going to use a heat tool to heat this up, and we're only going to heat it just until it starts to shine. So there's our embossed images. Now we're all ready to put in our background. And I want to mask the bottom for our sand area. And I'm going to use a Post-it note. I'm going to take a Post-it note. Oh, got two here. I only need one. And I'm going to just tear a little bit off of the sticky edge, just roughly, just to give that rough edge. And I'm going to mask about an inch here at the bottom. Okay, so that's masked. Let's put some blue water in it. And we're going to use Balmy Blue. And I'm going to use a blending brush for this. And blend in a circular motion. I'm going to leave the top corner very light, not even any color on it really. I like to do that so it just has a little bit of a light effect, like the light shining in this direction. So there's our blue water. That's Balmy Blue. And then I want some tall plants in the background. And I thought if we did our direct to paper technique, that would be fun. So I'm going to start with Mossy Meadow ink. And I'm just going to use the short edge of the ink pad, and I'm just going to make some plants in the background. Okay, you can try this out on scrap paper first if you just want to get the hang of how it's done, but you're going to find it's really easy just to smear the ink on there using that. Now this is Rich Raspberry, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to smear it on. This gives you some tall plants. You can make some shorter. And there's that. And I'm going to use a paper towel here just to wipe those embossed images off. Okay. Now you never want to scrub. This is just with an ordinary paper towel. You never want to really scrub them. We're just lightly wiping them off. Just get the ink off of them. Okay, so we're going to take our Post-it note off. And there's our sand. And let's stamp some pebbles in our sand, like this dotted stamp from the Seascape stamp set. And just a few here. That was with Crumb Cake ink and the dotted stamp. And we're going to wipe our embossed images off again. Just want to make sure that you kind of wipe any excess ink that's on your embossed images off. Otherwise you might smear it on a panel later on when you're putting it together. So there is that. And let's glue our seahorse on. I've got our scene already done. So we're going to glue our seahorse on. And I use the Tombow liquid multi-glue. This is so fast. I don't put much on, just a little bit. Try it on the outside edges really. And it gave a nice background for our little seahorse. Not a beautiful die. All right, now we're ready to put our card together. We got our scene done. So we're going to start with our, this is a 5.5 by 8.5 inch basic white card base. And inside I like to put a couple panels in, and I'm going to use this basic white panel, which is 3.75 by 5. I'm putting it on a Rich Raspberry panel, which is 4 by 5.25. We're just going to put that inside. Let's give it some love. And put it in our card base. Okay. And for the outside of the card, embossed it with the Seashells 3D embossing folder. That's beautiful. And I like to add a little color, more color to the panel. This is on Rich Raspberry, and the size is 4 by 5.25. And I ran it through with the embossing folder in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to take some Rich Raspberry and just put it on the left side. And it kind of highlights a little bit the design, brings it a little forward. Don't need much. There's no sense in doing the whole panel since most of your panel is going to be covered. But you can see this left side when it's finished. So that was Rich Raspberry with a blending brush. And we're going to add some ribbon to this. And we're going to use the Fresh Freesia ribbon. I'm going to take a short piece here, put it in the middle of the panel, turn it over, and we're going to put it, just tack it down with a couple mini glue dots. Okay. And then we'll attach it to our card, again with some liquid glue here. You could use your tape runner too. Either works fine. I just like the glue so I can move my panels around. Gives me a moment in case I have them on crooked. There's that. And I'm going to put my main panel on here with I'm going to pop it up. Let's pop it up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I like to use lots of dimensionals. That way it doesn't cave in the middle during shipping. I'm going to put this over to the right a bit. Okay, then we need a bow. I'll just slide this under the ribbon, tie it. There we have it. I hope you enjoyed today's project. See you in the next one. Bye.